Hi, my name is Ken Brenneman. Welcome to a 30-minute yoga practice for integrating a psychedelic healing experience. This yoga will focus on grounding, connecting to a remembrance meditation, and also a sound bath that will allow you to just allow your whole system to integrate something that might be amazing, it might be transformative, it might be challenging. So, whatever your experience was, I invite you to bring it to the mat and bring some peaceful breath to your yoga practice. You do not have to have any yoga experience at all. It will be a yoga practice in which we'll use the mat, which is set behind me. The two props that I usually recommend are a yoga block, but if you don't have that, just a folded blanket will work well. Before we begin, I would like to do a shout out to this wonderful short book by Dr. Catherine E. Cotter, and it's called After the Ceremony Ends. I highly recommend it as recommended reading for before or after sitting with plant medicines or psychedelics. So this is a practice that invites you to explore. And if ever anything gets overwhelming or the whole 30-minute practice doesn't resonate with you, definitely shift gears, step outside, let nature hug you. And I invite you to experience this practice with an open-hearted, compassionate invite. So first, I'd like you to get as comfortable as possible. What that might mean for you is if you're feeling lower energy, lie on back on the yoga mat and let the head, neck, and shoulders feel as comfortable as possible. Another option for fatigued or tired systems is to actually get as close to a wall as possible. Lean towards the wall on one side, flip so your legs can go up against the wall and you get this reverse circulatory setup. If you don't have a wall, even a chair or a sofa with the knees bent over the edge of that piece of furniture works well. Rest wherever you're resting, even if you're sitting upright. Let the hands rest on the abdomen. Take the time to breathe deeply into the belly so that we can access the parasympathetic nervous system. Allow your ears to drift around the space. Let yourself hear whatever sounds you hear coming from this recording, but also from the space around you. Check in with what it's like just to listen to the outer world, but also as you're closing your eyes and looking inwards, start to notice what that soundscape might be like inwards. If it's a busy place, just breathe in, recognize you don't have to respond to any of the sounds you hear outside or any of the thoughts or feelings you feel inside. Let the sense of feeling allow you to notice where you're connected to the earth, where your body might be resting into an object, where clothes might be making contact with the body, or where air might be making contact with the skin. Taste the tongue around in the mouth. Notice if the mouth is dry, or if by moving the tongue around, it brings some saliva into the mouth. Swallow once before the next inhale. And notice if that also softens the jaw. Breathe in and notice if there's any scent. Is there a candle lit? Do you burn sage? Do you have essential oil? Let the scent of smell and the olfactory system bring any of that ancient knowing by drawing in through the nose and exhaling through the nose. So this final sense that we'll practice with is letting the eyes for a brief moment, inhaling, go inwards and close the eyes. And then with the exhale, as the air goes back to the world, let the eyes open and just softly focus wherever your eyes notice. Let's go with that 3 more times. Inhale, turn inwards, close the eyes, notice what you notice. And exhale as you return to the outside world. Notice what you notice here. Good. One more time. Inhale, turn inwards. And exhale, let the eyes open and notice what the outside world shows you. In whatever position you've rested your body, just going to slowly find your way to an upright seated position. So if you did take that suggestion of having your legs up against the wall or furniture, simply walk the feet down, hug the knees to the chest, wait for a moment. Ease to either side, right or left, doesn't matter. Rest in that curled up ball. Let your head rest into the arm. And let the other hand find grounding. What it's like just for this brief moment. It's a transition to allow the body to stay in this curled up spot. When you're ready to bring the body into an upright position, the elbow underneath the head and the palm in front of the heart, use them to slowly lever yourself up. Come to any comfortable seated position, including on a chair. If you're working with a block or a blanket, you're welcome to also consider sliding them in. And I forgot to introduce, in case you haven't met Luna before, Luna. She represents the full body relaxation for these 30 minutes. So in other words, if you find your energy waning and just want to follow along with the meditative quality of this practice, take the Luna position and the Shavasana challenge anytime you'd like. So a couple of the practices we'll integrate here aren't actually from yoga, but from a broader sense. There are many mind-body disciplines, traditions, which I wish to acknowledge. And this is a tapping practice that recognizes the meridians within the body. And Bessel van der Kolk, a trauma specialist, would teach a very simplified version of this. And this is yet another version which I found helpful in psychedelic integrative work. The first thing you want to do is just let your hands feel the energy that flows between them. You can take those hands and rub them together softly or gently, depending on the temperature in the room. And we just want to make a little eye socket pillow for them. Cup these eyes over and just find a little dark and friendly space here. Feel any of the warmth of the heel of the hand that rests on the cheekbone and the fingertips that drape over the forehead. Just breathe into that space and just see if there's anything that your eyes notice, anything that you witness. All is well and I am safe. All is well and I am safe. Invite your hands to move from the eyes, and these fingertips play a very important part in this tapping practice, which is just to find the collarbone. And you're welcome to ease and roll the shoulders back. And right below the collarbone, we'll let our primary or three middle fingers find a little nest there. And what we're going to find is almost a drum-like rhythm. And I believe that our own innate healing energies that each of us possess, we know the right amount of tapping to do. That might be that we find a rhythm where it's faster than you're seeing me tap. Once you find your rhythm, slower or faster, just want to close your eyes and see if the rhythm can accompany a slow, even breath. So you've got the tapping or drumming rhythm here. You have your breath. And this might just allow you a moment to be, I am here, or any other kind of mantra or intention. This moment, I am here. I'm going to tap this out for just another short while. I am here. If your mantra deserves another repeating, your intention deserves a recognition. The rhythm of the breath, the rhythm of the tapping, the rhythm of those kind, compassionate self-acknowledgements you say to yourself every single moment of this practice. It's available. I'm going to let one more breath cycle guide us. In through the nose, out through the nose, and relax, especially the biceps. They get a little bit of an engagement there. Stretch out the arms and sit for another breath cycle to see what has shown up in that tapping sequence. Excellent. So what we want to notice is if we have a deep experience and our body is feeling tired, to move very slowly through the practice. We're just going to come on up to standing. And this is a twirling practice which allows us to stay rooted in the feet, to have all the major joints up to the head. Find a way to just twirl side to side. This can be both a little cooling in the hands, can also be a little energizing. So we can think of breathing energy up the body and then breathing energy down the body. And while we're staying in that centered, grounded place, we rest into our feet. They might step a little wider than hip distance. We keep the knees soft. We keep the core engaged. And then we find the hands can just start the movement. When the arms get a little more comfortable with this, you can feel the shoulders, the torso, all twirling. And the practice here allows us to perhaps intentionally bend the elbows so that our front hand taps right at the chest or the side of the heart, and the back hand taps right at the adrenals, the kidney area. So we're finding the second chakra and the heart chakra to be a place that we connect our creativity and these wonderful high vibration healing heart energies. Now, if this tapping, again, doesn't really resonate with you, just keep the arms super loose. Try to relax the arms and forget that they've got this bone structure to them. All the whilst we're just knowing we're grounded in our feet. We're gonna twirl, and again, it might be that the intention or the statement you can say to yourself is, I am here. I know my center. Just gonna allow this to go for a short while longer. And I would suggest, as long as it doesn't make you dizzy or disoriented, just finish up, if you haven't already, with the eyes closed. And when you tap a few more rounds, try to slow the body down. Not a quick, abrupt put on the brakes, but just a coasting to that slow movement, and see if the embodied experience is somewhat more fluid. If you've got your eyes closed, I'd like you to breathe in and just notice one thing that the body is sharing with you right now, one thing that your inner world wants you to have awareness of. And then your exhale, you're more than welcome to let the eyes open. Again, like I mentioned, this is a practice to integrate a psychedelic experience. And if you do happen to have a relationship to time where it doesn't always feel quite linear, this could also be a practice that you're using for any of your dreams, any of your insights, even coming back from a walk from nature. But in this particular way that we use a swan dive to bring meaning to the movement, we just want to bring whatever our intention is or was for our experience and bring it to the heart. We got to trust that that is right there at the center of our being. And then, of course, the expansion, let the arms reach out, and the inhale takes us up way over transpersonally, above and beyond who we are as an individual. With a softness of the knees, exhale. We want to bow to the earth. Thank Gaia for holding us, for bringing us these sacred plant medicines, for letting us know we're going to walk tenderly upon her. With an inhale, this is where the human heart looks forward. What do we see outward? And then exhale, you're going to bow down. And what do we want to bring back with us? Push into the feet. Thank you, earth, again. Circling up into that expansion, transpersonally, bigger than any one of us. And bring back to the heart to see how that learning, that little swan dive journey, just might bring our intention into clarity. I'm going to repeat this swan dive, a simple sequence of almost all traditions of yoga have, with this intention setting, expanding out and up, above and beyond, coming back to the earth, letting our human heart look outward, letting our body bow down, decide what we want to bring back with us, take it with us slowly, bring it back up over, and seal it to the heart. Good. So simplified words. Intention is set. We experience expansion. We might experience something above and beyond who we are. We bow down. There's humility in this. We take a lift. Let our heart see. Let it experience. Fold. Let the body know that earth holds us. Come back through. Notice what's expansion. And how, when we come back to our present moment, what is there for us? I'm going to go 2 more times. Intention is set. Expansion is experienced. A humble bowing. Thank you, earth. The human heart makes sense of what it can make sense of. Oh, folding. Another gratitude bow to earth. Back through the expansion. Come to know what's there in the intention. One more time. Intention, expansion, humility and grace, human hearts healing, folding and surrendering, return to this upright place, come to know it for the very first time. Rest for a moment in mountain pose, of course, if that really resonates with you, this sacred repetition. You're welcome to complete a couple more rounds. Truly believe that this practice that can help us in integrating any experience, it gives us a chance to also practice balance. Now, I've been practicing in the studio now with carpet underneath my mat, so sometimes it gets a little wrinkly, but that's all the more better way to show you what a practice of trust and faith is. So this is a balance practice and a walking meditation practice. You are welcome to start out, if balance is a little challenging for you, to keep your eyes, your focal point will change, but to keep your eyes looking forward. If you notice this is particularly challenged, try starting by looking just beyond the tips of your toes. So the walking practice is almost like you're just going to use the outside edges of the mat, or you could use the outside edges of a room or carpet. And we're simply going to lean into the foot that's on the outside. In this case, it's my left leg. And step the right leg, the opposite leg, right in front. So the foot steps right in front. Like you're on a balancing beam, or growing up in Pennsylvania, I would walk on the unused railroad tracks. And you walk your time, your pace, leaning into one foot, lifting the other foot, keeping the knees from ever locking, softness. Land the front foot there. Use the arms for a little bit of sway, and continue your journey around the yoga mat or the space that you're practicing in. Again, those levels of challenge would be to let your eyes focus past the mat in front of you, knowing that as you turn a corner, you'll have to change where your eyes are looking. Or most challenging yet is use your feet to feel where the edge of the mat is. When you come to its corner there, you'll know, eyes open or closed, to angle and step and turn that corner. If ever you find yourself wobbly or dizzy, you stop and rest. And if you can bring yourself through, again, hinting at this T.S. Eliot wisdom of we humans have this innate calling to explore, and explore. And so, to paraphrase T.S. Eliot, he says something like this: we shall not cease from our exploring, and at the end of our exploration, we shall return to the original spot to know it for the first time. Oftentimes, our psychedelic experiences can bring us new awareness in familiar places, or familiar places with really new awareness. So if you get back to the edge, your corner, and you want one more challenge, we could decide to walk backwards. We live life forward, but we understand it backwards. That's a Soren Kierkegaard quote that guides my life philosophy. But you would want to be able to either use a focal point and use your feet to wisely feel out the heel by the toes and the edge of the mat, and taking your time. There's no hurry here. How can one step slowly lead us? Whoa, thanks Luna for guiding me there. And what is it that guides you? Our felt sense, our external senses, the internal insights and wisdom and intuition and gut feeling. However it brings you back to this original spot to experience it for the first time. Once you get there, do not rush through. There's plenty of time. Just pause. Take in a breath. Offer the body reassurance you safely re-arrived to that place. Invite you to bring your body, when you finish that round, you come back to seated. And if at any time any of these practices guide you to be like, oh my goodness, I would like to do that some more, just pause and continue along and return to the practice after you're ready. So I would like us to do a restorative practice using the blanket, and the blanket fold that is most useful is a fold that makes this rectangular shape, and it is our shoulder blade pillow. And this is a heart opener. It would be a gentler version of a supported fish that some people would use with a block. This particular one is just to allow us some time to blossom open the heart and to allow us some time to do some third eye gazing. We want to bring the shoulder blades on the blanket and the underside of the bicep, triceps right above the edge of the blanket. And we also want to help and scoop the head so that it doesn't just kerplop and the top of the head's resting on the ground, but rather the back of the head is resting and we're allowing the neck to feel comfortable. If it does not feel comfortable, sometimes a little towel or even holding the head for a bit can be helpful. If you're feeling any discomfort, adjust the blanket. You can have the elbows bent, and there's a guide through the grounding chakra energy. But just to start here in the chest, we've got this blossoming chest area, the arms or wings out to the side. We want to make sure that the middle back is kind of hovering there, but the tailbone is just relaxed between the hips, and there's a flattening in the lower back. So breathe into what we would think of the root chakra extension of the physical body, and that's the feet. If you need to wiggle or windshield wiper them and let the hip sockets relax. And breathe in, and you might visualize the color red. And let this be a grounding place for your root chakra energy to hold you. Come to the earth, be held by the earth. Second is the second chakra, our energy of creativity and sensuality. And if you want to even take one hand down and put the thumb right in the belly button and the palm between the belly button and the pubic bone, breathe there and might visualize the color orange. And honor our primal self of creativity, our sensuality, our unique sense of who we are in the world, and free of any shame or embarrassment. Just be allowed to be who you are. And then you might let your hand lightly touch above the belly button. So the pinky could touch the belly button, and the heel of the hand touches right below the ribs, that center spot where our abdominal muscles are, but our solar plexus, so this bright shiny sunshine of yellow is there, and that is our strength. And in this moment, surrendering can be our strength. Breathe a breath and just find yourself grounded in the root chakra, honoring yourself in the second chakra, and feeling the power of surrender in the third chakra. Our blossoming heart is held by the ribs, but this green power or green heart chakra is way more than just the center of our chest. It is where our compassion, our patience, and even the healing energies of jealousy, of shame, of embarrassment, of regret. Let the highest vibration of your heart chakra hold any part of you that just deserves to be loved. You may also touch your throat and feel out where the anatomical throat voice box is, but that's where our truth is spoken. And this throat chakra, or this color blue, allows us to know our truth, to speak our truth with grace, with mutual respect. And the saying I often say is, I don't need to be right. I know that there are many variations of people wanting to speak their truth, so may I know mine and know how to express it when the time is right. And then might just lightly touch right between the eyebrows, the middle of the forehead, to know this orb of purplish violet energy, our intuition. And might we trust here that we know we're at the right place, the right time, taking care of ourselves. And how else might we honor our intuitive wisdom? Breathe the breath into the forehead and acknowledge this energy. And then our hands might just lightly touch the top of our head and remind us of the crown chakra, this white orb that's actually hovering at the skull, but over and above. So it connects us to the rest of the universe. Just as the red chakra, the root chakra, brings us to the earth, this reminds us of the big, vast universe within and around. May we feel the relevance of being an essential part of this big, vast universe. Now, if indeed this could be a place for you to rest for the next 3 minutes, please stay in this heart opening, third eye gazing, with the eyes softly resting behind the eyelids, but an opportunity to look into that third eye. And of course, during this brief sound bath, if your shoulders, neck need to come out of that pose early, you simply want to catch the back of the head, bend in the knees, lean to one side, remove the blanket and lay flat on the back and find the most comfortable position for you. Breathe into this moment. If there's any further remembrance of your psychedelic experience or even a dream, something that you want to bring into the present moment as integrative wisdom. I remember. If this gift of deep relaxation is helpful in your integration, you might just want to rest here for a while longer. If there was an insight, a remembrance, something from your earlier experience that came to you, notice it with your whole being and file it away in what I call our wisdom files. You may want to come from this yoga practice into perhaps a journaling exercise, just to jot down some words. If you're not a journaler, then a voice memo may do. When you are ready to come up to seated, just take a moment to sit with how you came to dedicate this time to yourself and how it may be a gift to those around you for taking this time just to care for your whole being. I wish to close with these words by the late John O'Donohue, who wrote this lovely book of blessings, Bless the Space Between Us. Blessed be the mind that dreamed the day the blueprint of your life would begin to glow on earth, illuminating all the faces and voices that would arrive to invite your soul to growth. Those who loved you before you were and trusted to call you here with no idea who you would be. Blessed be those who you have loved and into becoming who you were meant to be. Blessed be those who have crossed your life with dark gifts of hurt and loss that have helped to school your mind in the art of disappointment. When desolation surrounded you, blessed be those who looked for you and found you, their kind hands urgent to open a blue window in the gray wall formed around you. Blessed be the gifts you never notice, your health, eyes to behold the world, thoughts to deal with the unknown, memory to harvest vanished days, your heart to feel the world's waves, your breath to breathe the nourishment of distance made intimate by earth. On this echoing day, may you open the gift of solitude in order to receive your soul. Enter the generosity of silence to hear your hidden heart. Know the serenity of stillness to be enfolded anew by the miracle of your being. As I close this practice, I bow to you, the wisdom you have to guide your well-being into these practices. Take time, pace yourself, find ample amounts of self-compassion along the way. And if you have a fun kaleidoscope, look into it often. It may just help you remember. A glimpse into your world, a glimpse into mine. Thank Luna, thank you, thank the sun, thank the earth, thank those amazing plants and other medicines that guide us along the way. Take care. Thanks for checking out my offering. Hope to see you again sometime soon. Be well, and peace be with you. Till next time.